Thanks for coming with us on this Bass Extremes journey, and we're going to step by step explain the techniques and methods we used for each song. And
how do you talk and get that whistle thing going?
This thing?
I like that.
It's taken a lot of years. Years.
I'll work on that. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. But hey, you can see it's just like the book and the CD. We have fun. But we're going to go through our techniques and explain them, and this way you can see them, hear them, and apply them to whatever it is you do. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Again, we just want to say thanks to everyone involved, especially Greg Bissonette for playing the great drums. Again, like hopefully you heard on the CD, we're grateful to have him here boosting us right along. But welcome to the tape, and let's get right into it.
Let's do it. Well, let's tune. You want to tune to me?
No, you're going to give you're giving the audience tuning notes like on the CD?
Well, I might.
Okay.
You got a problem with it?
No.
Okay. Here's a G.
All right.
Here's a D. Here's a, what is it? A. A. Here's an E. And for those of you that care, there's a low B and a high
C.
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 Yes, a chick from Korea.
A chick from Korea.
Why don't you explain the techniques you use?
Sure,
first?
sure. A chick from Korea. The first song, written and dedicated to, influenced by
Miles Davis. No, Chick Corea.
Definitely one of our influences. On this song, I use my tenor bass, which is tuned up, or strung up, I should say, slightly different than a normal bass. I'll get there. E-A-D-G. This tenor bass is tuned A-D-G-C, so I'm a fourth higher, so I can get the high notes like Steve gets. But anyway, basically, I play the melody on this song, and I'll play the melody slowed down for you, so you can see and hear what I'm actually doing. 3, 4. Okay, got that?
Cool.
Okay.
That's all you do?
That's it.
Wow. Okay.
That's all I do.
I get to have some fun here. I play mostly the accompaniment parts. Using artificial harmonics, using my finger as a node and fingering back here. You could check out my advanced rock-based technique book, and it's all explained there.
I'll have to do that.
Well, I'm looking at you, but I was actually addressing it out there.
Okay.
Don't take it personal. Now, on the bridge, you know how to do it. On the bridge, and Victor does kind of a accompaniment thing. What do you do there?
Yeah. Basically, I'm just playing some 7 chords. And the main thing for me on that part is just to have a fluid, just relaxed down and up motion. All right. And the country chicken picking part.
Chick in pickin'. A chick from Korea. I never got that till now.
It's cosmic.
That's cool.
This song was meant to be.
Be what? Go ahead.
Basically, I pluck the strings quite a bit harder, and the tenor bass actually helps me get the sound of the that country guitar sound that I'm going for. And basically, I'm just attacking the notes a little harder. You know, that type of style. And if Steve will play the part, I'll show you what it sounds like a little bit slower.
Dominant 7th chord thing, place like that. What tempo would you like?
2.
You go ahead and I'll...
Something like that.
I'm from South Carolina. That stuff comes naturally. You're from Virginia.
Virginia? Oh, man. I love chicken. Bangkok Blues. Another late night. I guess this kind of demonstrates solo playing, making it sound like duet playing. Is that a way of putting it?
That is a way.
That's a way. One example is when I'm playing the melody of the song, I'm playing it 2 octaves apart. And I'm doing it two-hand tapping style, a la Stanley Jordan. And for this song, I chose my standard tuning bass, E, A, D, G. And I played the melody with left hand down in the first lower part of the bass. And with my right hand, my picking hand, I went up 2 octaves, and basically with my first 2 fingers, I tapped out the same melody. And I might throw in here is when you're practicing tapping, keep in mind to put your thumb back here as an anchor. You'll get better tone, I think, and you'll have a lot more accuracy. The same way you play with your left hand.
More strength.
Definitely more strength. You anchor your thumb back here, so do it with your right hand too. These hands are mirror images of each other. Okay? So, together,
Bangkok Blues, for me, was quite a challenge. And that Victor played his thing 2 octaves, tapping like that. Did you see me tap? Sort of?
put your thumb back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm supposed to anchor. I know. See, anybody can do this, if I can. But the way I did it, using the artificial harmonics, I got triple octaves. So now this gets a little complicated, so follow me closely. Here I am with an A, and I'm fingering a D up here, but I'm going up to the second partial of the harmonic, which gives me an A, the 5th. Or would that be the 3rd partial? It's one of these up here. It's so hard to find, I'm not sure what it is, but sometimes it takes that long to find it, too. A couple times tonight. So I'll pluck the thumb, with my thumb I'll get the low A, and then I'll find that. And then, when I go to the D, I'll just drop down here, keep the D here, and shift down. That's how I played the melody at the beginning. The other melodies I just play using the artificial harmonics with my index finger. For that same section that Victor's talking about, I believe it goes. Notice how my right hand is pretty much following. If it doesn't follow, we lose the harmonic.
So your left hand's actually fingering double octaves, but the right hand harmonic's making
is bringing it up. Right. Yeah, that's it. There's an octave, there's an octave, and there's an out of tune octave. So by using the artificial harmonics, I can pop them all up an octave. But it's kind of an interesting technique. And then when we blend them together, I believe Victor goes off and does a.
Yeah, I think I took the.
You take another
third.
harmony. Yeah, let's play that. 1, 2, 3.
Stan the Man, another song that's highly dedicated to one of our idols. I think one of a lot of musicians, especially bass players' idols. Stanley Clarke. This song was inspired by him.
It's for you, Stanley.
This is a song entitled Stan the Man. And again, I chose the tenor bass tuned A, D, G, C to play this song, a bass that's kind of made famous by Stanley, tuned in this style. And so I chose this bass, and I attacked the strings again slightly harder and used a little bit more high end on my bass to attempt the Stanley Clarke tone. And you can, the song is pretty straightforward, but a neat thing that I did to play over this song is I used the E major pentatonic scale, and which is I use that scale to play over all of the chords, and if Steve will play the chords underneath, you'll hear how this one scale will work pretty much over all the chords. No,
see how easy it is to learn?
You play the chords.
Oh.
Did you read this book? E major pentatonic. Nice scale to, you try it.
I guess you just saw what I was doing, but once again it's back to this harmonic thing, and I'll explain it a little more in detail here. You must make sure that your index finger, or sometimes a lot of people use their thumbs, a la Jocko, but I find that I can be much more accurate. And once again I'm going up the same partials that you go up. Going backwards that way, you can go this way. And the whole principle is if I move my left hand up to B flat, I'll move this harmonic up to B flat.
So your right hand is moving in conjunction with your left hand?
Yes, systematically, consistently, proportionally, and in conjunction with.
I'm going to buy this video. I want to learn that.
It's a lot of muscle memory, so you just do it over and over. And these chords, E over G sharp, A major, E over B to C sharp minor, another voicing, E over G sharp on a 6th string. That chord, didn't you?
That's beautiful.
That's F sharp over A sharp, B sus. That's all I did through there. We went to another section where I played, this is a classic Stanley Clarke chord progression, and based my solo off of that. Basically all I did.
You think we'll have to pay Stanley for this?
Victor, man, those were some serious triplets, like kind of like Stanley used to do in there in your solo.
Well,
how'd you do that?
I tried. I could never get my 2 fingers or 3 to move as fast as Stanley, so I applied a technique that my brother showed me when I was about 8 years old, applying the thumb in a down and up position.
Why weren't you out playing with the rest of the kids?
My brothers were making me practice.
Lucky guy.
But just like a guitar player will use a pick, I use my thumb down and up. To get a triplet, I'll go down, up, and then pluck with my index finger. Slowly. Okay, so with that in mind, down, up, pluck, in a relaxed manner, I picked 3 notes per string to try to get the Stanley Clarke approach. Any 3 notes, chromatic or a whole tone, however you want to approach it. The technique, down, up, pluck, 3 notes per string. And that's the way I imitated Stanley.
I did kind of the same kind of triplet things, and the way I got into Stanley Clarke was somebody gave me a jazz record in South Carolina, and it was Chick Corea record, and I've never seen him. I had never seen him play. I had no idea how he did the things he did. I mean, for instance, on upright bass, just a little aside here, if I may digress. I heard him do these. Remember those on his upright bass he'd do on that light as a feather thing?
Yeah.
So I sat there for hours practicing, get my triplet, and practicing triplet scales real fast. And then I saw Stanley on TV one time, and I was really, and Stanley, I saw you do this. That's how you did it. And I'm sitting there for hours and days going, thanks. But anyway, back to the triplets.
That's impressive.
Well, it was a lot of hard work. I wasn't out playing either.
Stanley was teaching you.
He was
at that point. He was teaching you. He was teaching you to practice your chromatic skills.
He did.
This is cosmic. This is cosmic.
Sure. So I'm using 3 fingers in my right hand, and sometimes for triplets I'll go 3-2-1, 3-2-1. Normally my right hand patterns they roll back and forth 1-2-3-2, 1-2-3-2, or 2-3-2-1, 2-3-2-1. It's all kind of a back and forth rolling method, but it's that same 3-note thing that Victor was doing. So and for a great practice exercise, cross strings as you go down. I didn't do that in the song, did I? I guess I should have.
Next video.
Yeah.
Victor's Gem. Again, I used the standard tuning bass, EADG, and I used my thumb almost exclusively, the thumb and the popping. And again, one of the patterns that I use a lot is what I call open hammer pluck. And it implies hitting a note with my right hand, which is usually an open string. I hammer a note usually on the same string with my left hand, so open, hammer, and then a pluck. Now, any of those three notes can be changed. The open string doesn't have to be open. But I still consider it open hammer pluck. And then I just move that pattern around. I may take the hammer note up a fourth. Like that. Another neat technique that I use is applying two fingers to get a flam like a drummer. A flam sound. How do you spell that? Okay. Anyway, thumb, instead of a thumb and one pluck, it's a thumb and two plucks. And usually I'll put that right before the downbeat, like 3, 4. Right now I'm doing it on the G string. It can be done on all strings and should be practiced on all strings.
The thing, though, that people need to, I mean, that's perfectly in time. It's just not a flam. I mean, it's some sort of note that's very consistent and in time.
Yeah, that is
So how do
true.
they develop that? By practicing it slow?
Practicing it slow, yeah. That's a good key, and a good point Steve brought up is to make sure you practice this, what I'm calling a flam. Practice it at all tempos. Some things that are easy to do fast, but are hard to do slow. So you actually do have control over the speed, and you also do have control over what notes it wants to hit, what strings it wants to hit, so it can actually be played as notes rather than rhythms. Got it? Thumb Start My Harley. This is your song. You take it away.
Well, they're all our songs. So why would you say this is my song?
You're so nice. He's a nice guy. Okay, I'll start this one.
Well, no, I didn't say I didn't want to start it. I just wanted to clear that little issue up. But, well, the title of it, Thumb Start My Harley, I mean, the way his thumb works and the way my Harley Davidson works are very similar, I guess. So we named it Thumb Start My Harley because it has, with the distortion I'm using, which I'll explain, I'm using an A1, Korg A1 back there, and my ADA MB1 distortion channels, and they end up sounding kind of like so for the melody, I'll maybe like Joe Satriani or some guitar player. I was playing it in that octave, but I decided maybe it'd sound nice up in harmonic. And the great thing about a fretless bass, it's like a huge whammy bar like yours, but only bigger, because you can hit harmonics and slide them all over the place. In chords. It's a lot of fun. You can you can experience what a guitar player experiences. I noticed one thing about guitar players though, and I don't know if I found this, and this is another digression which will probably end up on the cutting room floor, but I found out why guitar players use distortion.
Why guitar players use distortion?
Yeah.
To get to the other side?
Basically, you're right, and okay. I'll explain how that is. Guitar players, this is a 2-octave G major scale. That's a 2-octave G major scale. Now here's a 2-octave, this is with distortion on 2-octave G minor scale. You hear much difference? Here's a 2-octave... Well, basically what I'm getting at is distortion, you can hide a lot of things. It's kind of fun that way. Here's a 2-octave kind of altered scale. G major. All sounds similar to me. So, that aside, I decided to go... That's fun.
I'm going out to get me some distortion now.
They're having a sale on it down at the Save-On.
Okay, I'm there.
So what did you do?
Well, I didn't have distortion, so I was back to my thumb again. One of the patterns that I played in this song applied some triplets. The pattern slowly... I actually can't remember which way I played it, so I'll show you one way, and then you can modify it if I'm wrong. It's a triplet. It's what I like to call open, hammer, pluck. Okay? And basically what I mean is I usually hit an open string with my thumb. I hammer a note on the same string with my left hand, and then I pluck a high note. So, together, open, hammer, pluck. And then I go up to the next string and do the same thing. Open, hammer, pluck. Together. The note that I pluck can be up a whole step, and I can have 1, 5, 9. And then I just take the whole pattern down a whole step. Together. And in the groove, it sounds like this. You got it.
That's 2 basses, mind you.
Emerald Forest. Emerald Forest is a nice, pretty ballad where I had the pleasure of just laying down a nice pad groove type of thing for Steve to just play on top of. And basically the pattern that I'm playing is a two-handed pattern, which is pretty much 2 notes per hand, a tapping pattern. And the pattern is actually really easy. We're in the key of E major, and slowed down the pattern is. And then pretty much I just took it up a fourth to the key of A. I changed a few notes, and you can experiment with changing the notes the way you like, but I took it up a fourth and changed a few notes to make it sound like this. So just to experiment with the notes, and as you see, I'm just using 2 notes per hand, and it's fairly easy, and I just repeat it, and I use some delay that I don't have on right now, so each note is actually repeating, so it might sound like I'm doing more than I'm actually doing. Experiment with it, have fun.
My mission in this was play the melody, and it was a melody that Victor brought in, if my memory serves me correct, and it's a beautiful, simple melody, and some of the greatest things in life, melodically and in many other ways, are the simplest, and this is just. And I might find ways to embellish that, you know, the vibrato. One thing about vibrato, you just say that's overdoing it?
For my taste.
Yes. Well. If you want to develop your vibrato, find a singer that you really like and try to emulate their vibrato style. And pretty much that's all I did, just play the melody and use the Lydian modes there. And then we got to the bridge, which I brought some chords that we were able to attach, and I get it kind of a similar concept of what Victor's doing, but doing it my way of getting this. Which sets, Victor plays a 1-note melody through there, I believe.
Yeah, actually 2 notes, but it's neat how...
Who's counting?
who's counting? It's neat that my approach to this melody was to stay out of Steve's way. He's doing some amazing chordal things.
Well, thank you.
He's playing like these 10 and 12 note chords, you know.
No, as I told you, you're not counting either. It's only 4 or 5.
4 or 5 note chords. I was building you up.
Yeah,
but my goal was to stay out of his way, so the melody is pretty simple, and we'll play it together, the bridge section of Emerald Forest.
What notes are you going to play?
This is an E and an A.
Okay.
That's simple. 3, 4.
Let's play the A section melody. 3.
Okay, here we go.
4.
if I only had a brain.
Yes, then you could count how many notes I'm playing.
Another thing that you can practice, another technique that I used in Emerald Forest, which is the tapping, two-hand tapping for the intro. And one of the ways that I practice this is to play scales. And right now we'll go with the 3-note per string E major scale. 2 notes out of my left hand, 1 out of my right. You can mix it up however you choose. Slowly. With the jazz note included at no extra cost.
What was it? That was a cool jazz note.
Yeah. I only play the cool jazz notes. Again. You hear that? Quick learner. If you can get a shot of this, I'll show you one little trick that
That's where my hair tie went. It was in my face the whole night.
You gotta watch your hair ties closely. This is a hair tie that I put around the neck to help mute the strings. And it's one of the cheapest and best things that I found to complete the job.
Are you implying that I'm cheap? It is a nice hair tie.
It's a nice hair tie. The thing I like about it is you can play on both sides of it. While I'm playing, I can move it on wherever I want it, grabbing it with my thumb while I'm playing. Move it out of the way. And it's cheap. That's the best part.
And now I know
it
what to
works
get you for Christmas.
a lot better than some of the things that I've seen or tried. It's a great tool for me. So I take that same melody with this, and it cuts out some of my open strings.
I'm just proving that it can be done another way, although your way is cooler than mine.
I don't know. Your way's kind of cool.
Your way is ultimately cool.
Well, you have 2 choices. You fight it out.
I'd like to talk for a moment about my solo piece. I realize on the CD that I played a song called Moonridge, and the piece that I played tonight live is Moonridge is thrown in there, but I just had a hankering, which is kind of a urge to, that's Southern talk for urge, hankering.
Oh, I thought that was that guy that hit all those home runs.
Hankering. Hank Aaron. Boy, that's stretching. That's good, though. Everybody, to hear the applause and the laughter after that, it's incredible. But I had a hankering to do some different things, and I'd been kind of messing around with a progression, which is just E to G to A, very basic rock and roll kind of thing that's based on a song called Chad's Place from my Evolution CD, which if you're in Japan you might be able to get it there. And using the open harmonics and trying to combine that, you might have heard this part of it where I go stuff like that, where I'm still keeping the bass line going, but then adding another part on top creates some different things. And the other stuff of just the fast Once again, that gets back to the right hand, the 1, 2, 3, 2 movement, and the just practicing slowly and consistently. And like Victor does with his ready to pluck fingers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the same thing. I've got 3, and I try to keep them even, and do in groups of 5. So I can get comfortable accenting with any finger. So if you do 5, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next downbeat starts on 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each downbeat starts on a different finger. So it helps you develop. So what I'm doing is just keeping the drone string going. And it doesn't have to be a drone string, it can be this. Just getting that independence where we're crossing. I'm not actually doing that with my thumb like some people might think, but I'm playing it in the cracks, so to speak. So when I'm going, when I go, sounds like I'm playing them on every, but I'm crossing strings with my right hand. And then the shifting exercise is just a great exercise of, this was another part that was in there, of just taking little sequences and transposing that down an octave. It's kind of it's a looker technique. It looks good. I mean, I could actually get it right here, but you know, it's showbiz. You know what I mean? we decided to do Donna Lee originally in the book, and the CD, and the video, since we were paying tribute to a lot of our inspirations and a lot of people who meant a lot to us. The person, for me, I first heard Donna Lee on a Jaco Pastorius record, and I had no idea what it was. I just knew that it was incredible. I'd never heard anything like it. So we thought this was a great vehicle for certain things we wanted to do, and also a tribute to another one of the greats, a person who had a huge influence not only on bass players but on music in general. So we took Donna Lee, and Victor's jaw-dropping thumb technique in the melody is something I'll let him explain. But all I did was assume the role of the guitar player, sort of, and comping, using dominant chords and with the bass note thrown in. But basically, you know, throwing in the harmonics to add a little wider spectrum to the chords. And what else did I do in there? In that middle section, just something like that, kind of a Jaco-ish line, but really kind of fast and harmonically moving around some with what Victor was doing. It was kind of a interesting way to escape from the arrangement for a little bit and find our way back in. So, you know, my role in the song was a support for some jaw-dropping. Speaking of jaw-dropping, slapping, why don't you tell them what you did?
Well, I attempted to play the melody with the thumb.
No, you more than attempted.
Oh, well.
That's being very humble.
Well, thank you very much. With the thumb down and up and 1 or 2 finger plucks. And it might take me quite a while to actually explain every point of this melody, so I'll do something better and explain the technique or concept and how you could go about learning to play any melody. And one of the ways I do it is by playing scales. And a good way to do it, there's a couple ways. You could just try playing the scales again like I did with the tapping, 3 notes per string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a D major scale and play. Play with the thumb and index finger, down, up, pluck, down, up, pluck. Another fingering on the same scale is playing 2 notes on at the beginning of the scale. The D and the E of the scale will be played on the A string, and then I use the index finger to help me shift strings. A quick point that I'll throw in here real quick, because this may be a problem that some of you will run into in approaching this style. What happens is when I'm doing this triplet, down, up, pluck, all on 1 string, and maybe I'll change angle so you can see it better in a minute. When my thumb hits, my index finger goes under the string that I'm getting ready to play. So if my thumb and my index finger are going to hit the A string, as soon as my thumb hits, watch where my index finger is. It's underneath the string, ready to pluck. If it's out here, it can't get up here fast enough to pluck. It'll be harder. It'll be a lot easier if you learn how to get it in there automatically.
So you're doing like in and out, and then how do you get them all the way back there like that?
Well, I kind of ball my hand up like this, so that the fingers and the thumb are kind of in a line. I don't know if you can see that. Exactly.
Did you
He's
see
a quick
that?
learner. He's a quick learner.
Man.
Before you know it, I'll be doing this. Maybe next video. Anyway, once you get the triplets, learn how to do it with 2 plucks and maybe even 3 and 4 plucks. Here I'll do it with 2 plucks.
You pluck with your little finger?
I don't, but it can be done. Here I'll do 2 plucks. So it's down, up, pluck, pluck. 3 plucks. 4 plucks. 1 pluck. 2 plucks. 3 plucks. 4 plucks.
$1.
The main point is to remember is that as soon as my thumb hits, the fingers that I'm going to pluck with are going underneath the string, ready to pluck. A key point. Now, once you get that, practice playing lines. Hey, he's cheating.
I just can't sit back.
He's cheating.
Okay, for Donna Lee, I'm voicing the chords. You can do it on a 4-string. Here's my middle 4 strings. This is an A flat major 7. A flat with the 7th, G, and C on top. And then I might go to a first inversion F7 flat 9, which just has the A, the F sharp, which is a flat 9 or G flat, and the 5th, and then up to the 2 dominant chord, B flat, A flat, and D, and then minor, just slide your finger back, to E flat 7, to A flat major 7, and so all the chords, I stretch them out for 6-string. I might open the voicing up instead of going, I'll open and put the G on top. And then use that same voicing for the F7 to the B flat. Throw in the plus 11. So it's basically constructed off root and thirds or sevenths above it. Occasionally flat 9s and other more interesting notes, but just getting a handle on the basic harmony. I mean, you can guide the harmony around like this with just 2 notes. So that's what I'm doing, and those kind of things you can apply those chords. Using the harmonics and stuff like that combined with the bass line, and actually do things that's going to make the keyboard player angry at you and the guitar player, and if you don't use them correctly, you might get fired. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Definitely like to thank you for hanging with us tonight. And I know, Victor, did you enjoy yourself?
I had a great time.
You missed your plane and experienced an earthquake.
Yeah, all in the same
hour.
Hour, yeah.
Basically. Been here all day. We've had a great time. Hope you've found it entertaining and educational, and hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
And hope you might even learn something.
That'd be good.
Well, thanks again for joining us on this Basic Streams thing. And we had a lot of fun. Again, we'd like to thank Greg Bissonette and everyone else involved.
Let's thank Keith.
Definitely,
our director.
We should thank Keith.
Yeah.
If we could get him on the camera, he's right there, it would be great.
Oh, Keith, just come over here. Oh, he's got you on there?
Great. That's Keith. And there's a bunch of other people involved.
We'd like to thank you, and you,
and
you up there in the lights.
You in the homes.
You in the home.
Yeah. We should also add, while we're wasting tape, that it is most important to be a bass player. A lot of the things that we spent a lot of your time talking about aren't the necessities of of...
They're not the bread and butter.
They're not the bread and butter. But the point is, if you look deep enough into what we're doing, you'll see that the bread and butter part is there. If you take apart one of Steve's parts where he's playing bass lines, chords, you know, and melody sometimes all at the same time, you can take those three things apart and find that a steady bass line is there. So if you only just want to work on his bass line, you can do that. Or if you're a guitar player or just want to learn the chords, you can do that. Or if you want to be advanced like Steve is, learn all the parts.
Well, dittos to you too.
Well, I'm going to work on your parts one at a time.
No, I'm going to work on your... I'm not even going to work on your parts. You're too hard.